In this demo, we're going to work on creating color value. So again, we have our paints, my plate to use as my palette to mix paint. I have my paint set up on my palette already. A glass of water to clean my brush in between. Using each paint color, a rag, and my paintbrush. And my page set up with the uh, the 9" by 1" rectangle with 9" or 9 different 1" squares in between to make my value scale. So to start off making a value scale using a color, we want to figure out like the color value of the hue that of our choice. All right, so right now for this demo, I'm using red as the hue that I'm going to make this value scale with. And so red pretty much is red would probably sit in the center of the value scale, because the value of red is kind of like a middle value of this particular hue. So anything below this hue is going to become much lighter. Anything above this hue is going to become much darker. And this is different when we're using other colors such as blue, anything similar to blue, or yellow, or any other color similar to yellow. Yellow is a lighter hue, so it would probably start out somewhere in this area. Blue is a darker hue, so it'll probably start out somewhere in this area. All right. So we can see that I potentially need another layer of red just to kind of evenly lay out onto the surface of the paper. Try to make it as opaque as possible, so we're not seeing none of the white paper beneath the red color. And so in order to get some some lighter values, we want to mix white into our red gradually. So I'm going to take some red, put it in between my white and red on my palette. I'm going to take a little bit of white and add it to the red. You can see I'm not adding a ton of white to the red right now, because we'll be adding more in a little bit. So I'm going to get me a hue or a value that's just slightly lighter than the original color. For me, looking at this, it feels like I might have put a little bit too much white into the mix. So what I'm going to do is just add some more red to it to kind of adjust and modify and get it to a point where I feel is most accurate. And once I get that, once I feel like it's like the correct value, I'm going to lay down the value onto the next square below the pure red hue, or the pure hue. I'm going to clean my brush, dab it into my paper towel just a little bit more, add just a little bit more white to it. Bring it to the next square, and just continue to move forward as I'm doing here. Clean my brush. Again, add more white to the red. Lay it out. And you can see I'm just gradually my hue is gradually becoming lighter. I might have made too big of a jump right there, so I could potentially just try to fix that, and maybe just move it a step, like backwards. I'm gonna add more white to the mix to really push that final value. And there are my tints, right? Remember, we refer to white mix into your pure hue. Any color, any values mixed with white are your tints. Any values mixed with black are your shades. So for the same process using the black, I'm going to just gradually add black to my red. There we go. Might have added way too much probably. I'm just gonna put some red back into it just to make sure it is the correct value that I'm looking for. I'm gonna add that to my value scale. I think I made the jump. I think the jump is just a little too harsh. So what I want to do is add just a little bit more red, into that. Just make sure I'm not making the jumps to the darker, to a darker shades too quickly. So just gonna try to fix that. If you feel like you made your a jump to the next shade, it might be a little bit too much. Wait for it to dry, and then try to fix it after it dries by, applying some wet paint onto a dry surface. I'm just gonna add a little bit more black to the red. This black is definitely super strong, so just gonna try to make sure I'm getting this correct. I'm gonna add some more black. And to finish it off, add some more. You should be pretty much close to like the color black for your last hue. We should see like just hints of red kind of peering through the darkest value. So there it is. There is an example of a value scale using red as my hue of choice for this part of the project, or this part of the exercise. Again, you can use any of the other primaries, you can use any of the secondaries, any of the tertiaries to complete this part of the assignment.